So here is a list, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, of 10 of the areas that I have found over the years. Pattern. Everybody has these problems. And please feel free to add in the comments area, add to this. So here are a few of the most common areas neglected. And this episode isn't just about the common areas, it's also about the foundation. So I'm giving you 10 areas, starting with the first one, which would be the first area I would begin with. So these areas are also building blocks. They are in order because you're going to build on them. I'm not going to get into great detail with these areas because you can find them. If you want to learn more, then sign up for my online academy courses, because then I break all this down. The first one, there should be a checklist. You should be taught to do a checklist, a body scan of you and your horse when you first get on your horse. And even before you get on your horse, where is your horse's mind? How do they pick you up at the mounting block? Now, you just saw Lovey come get me off a fence. I didn't have to pull her, make her, reposition her. She just was like, yep, I love being with you. I know what this means. And I'm here, I'm going to come get you. You saw how relaxed she was, how easy she was to move forward, to steer. You got to see, go back and look at that, review that. Where was my focus? Where were my aids? How relaxed were we? So most of you are riding horses that aren't even mentally or physically prepared to do the lesson. That's the first thing. And the second is, why would you ever get on a horse that isn't calm or quiet when you first get on? That's called mindset. Where is my horse's mindset? If I've got to have a tight contact and constantly keep holding on to her and repositioning her, I should not be riding this horse, because you're going to be dealing with that the entire time. So your lesson is going to just go right down the toilet. You guys get that? And so for a lot of you new riders or people coming back to riding, you're taking lessons. I want you to do the assessing. Assess your trainer or your instructor. Just like you would a contractor. Get more than one estimate. Review more than one trainer or instructor. Do your research. That's why I'm doing this blog, this topic. You know, how do you begin? What are their horses like? Do you feel safe and comfortable? What does safe and comfortable look like? Because this lesson's all about you right now. You're not here to learn how to train this horse who's, you know, pee-offing or jigging underneath of you. I remember years ago with Legend, my little Arab, when he was my top school horse, and we were learning the pee-off and the tempi lead changes. Well, we learned them on our own. I'm self-taught. After I spent $175 for 45-minute lessons over and over again, not by one FEI accredited trainer, dressage trainer, but by several different ones, because of the BS and the propaganda and well, you've got to learn this and that, and it's going to take you years. And I'm like, well, my horse does it naturally. I just want to learn how to develop it and ride it. So the point I'm making is, I went to take a lesson on one of their schoolmasters, not once, but twice, and not from one FEI accredited instructor, dressage instructor, but several. And sorry, but none of their horses would stand still for me. They were tight and ready to go. I had to practically manhandle them with contact, which was exhausting and something that didn't feel right. And thank God, because that's what made me study and learn and teach what I teach today. So number one, you got to be on a really safe horse that you feel comfortable with, so you as a rider can learn. You're not here to control your lesson horse. You're here to learn. You should have a checklist when you get on, and we'll go through it. So we already talked about the checklist for the horse. How do they show up? They should be like Lovey. Patient, calm, confident, relaxed while you're getting on. You saw me pull up my jeans. They're wet from doing a bathing blog video, and you know, I needed to pull them up. So if I was in a saddle right now, I would want to be, you know, adjusting my body position. I'd want to make sure I could get my feet in the stirrup and everything was was where it's supposed to be, scanning my body. Am I nervous? Am I tight? Do a checklist for your body. I have a whole checklist. Again, you guys want to learn more, please sign up for my online courses. Their plethora of knowledge is abundant in knowledge. So the first one is a checklist. How's your horse showing up, and where are you when you first get on? Are you breathing? Are you relaxed? Where's your body position? And this is what your instructor should be teaching you. Second, how do you learn to balance relaxation in your body yet being poised like I am? This is really important because when you go to move with the horse, so many of us, look at the tension in my arm. You guys can see that my muscles are constricted. So many times, when I first do lessons with my students and we go through the checklist and the body scan and I ask them to now pick up the reins, look at the tension in my arms. So any tension or constricting of the muscles is going to impede, negate, get in the way of movement, of your ability to move with the horse and the horse to move freely. So a really easy visual, and I do this all the time and it works for my students, is my arm's going to be the horse and my two fingers are going to be my thighs. So right now I have light contact on my horse and my horse is moving at the walk. This is what it looks like and feels like as your horse is moving forward. The minute I tighten my thighs around my horse, I can't move. My horse can't move. So if you just do this little simulation with yourself, just gently put your two fingers, your thumb and your index finger on your arm, just gently, and let your arm go back and forth as if your arm is the horse and it's walking. Now slowly tighten your fingers and you start shortening the movement until you get to a halt. So any tension, your fingers represent your legs. They could represent your body. They could represent your arms. Any tension in your body will get in the way of allowing the horse to move freely. We have to start here, right? We have to start with a body scan, a checklist. Now, when I'm ready to ask my horse to move off, am I relaxed? Have I been breathing? Yet am I poised? Meaning I'm not slouched over, I'm not leaning back, I'm not leaning forward. Where is my body position? If you want to learn more, again, I'm not going to get into an hour training session with this. This video, I want her to stand square. This video is just to give you a great outline of the things to look for in your instructor and what you should be taught from the very beginning or retaught. So, first one was your checklist for mounting. Where's your horse and where are you? Did you do your checklist? There's like 8 areas I cover for the checklist. Second is, are you relaxed? Do you know what that feels like in your body? Yet are you poised in the correct body position everywhere? Your leg, your foot, love bug. The third's going to be your focal point. So when I ask my students to send the horse off into a walk, move forward, and they're not allowed to use their legs, they have to use their focus, their energy, and their seat. So you have to look where you're going, and you should be looking, I say follow your focus, at least 20 to 30 feet in front of you. I teach all of this on the ground, by the way, in my lunging methods. So I get you guys really, it becomes second nature to you before you ever get on. It's amazing. And then you have this amazing synchronicity with your horse. You can't do that, love. Come. So you have to have a good focal point. The fourth is you're going to have to know where your hands need to be able to communicate effectively as well as keep you on your balance point. We'll go through that. The fifth is where's your body position? You have to have a correct upper body position, basically the way I'm sitting right now. The fifth is your saddle or seat position. I'm going to demonstrate all of this. Now I don't have a saddle, and this bareback pad can be way up on the wither because it has tons of flexibility. It will not impede movement in her shoulder. So, and they are designed to sit way up here so that it puts you back on your balance point more easily. That's the bareback pad. I would never put a saddle that far up though. But this is not a saddle fitting episode. So I'm not going to get into all that, but you need to have a correct position for your bareback pad, your saddle, for you to sit correctly on your balance point. How many times are riders not positioned correctly in the saddle? The saddle doesn't fit them, it doesn't fit the horse, and it's not in a good position. So it doesn't help you get back on your balance point. 7, your leg position. I'll go through all this. 8, your foot position. So many people, look how tight my feet are right now. You see the angle with my heel down? That's a myth these days. There's been so much research and awareness brought to the rider's leg and foot position in a stirrup. And unless you're jumping, you should never have your heel down. So that's another major issue I find with these backyard trainers, that, you know, the hunt seat position or 2-point in hunt or jumping is, you're supposed to have your legs up high, you're supposed to have your heels down to keep you in the stirrup, because you've got to lift your body off the horse. That is the only time you're going to have heels down. Other than that, and you guys either just go ahead and look at some of the top professionals on YouTube, whether they're a reining professional, competing, or a dressage professional, their feet are level in that stirrup. They're level, and they are also parallel to the horse's body, meaning their feet are not sticking out like mine are, or my hands. So they are actually, when you're in a dressage saddle, you want to roll your toe forward like you see mine, so your knee makes contact with the knee roll in your dressage saddle. So just think if I had a knee roll right here. What you don't want is this space. You want your leg to have light contact, just your thigh, light contact against the knee roll, and you want your foot to be level and your toe just turned in a little bit. And you want a long, relaxed leg. You're not rising trot, and you shouldn't be taught how to rise trot. We're going to talk about that too. Nobody should learn the rising trot unless you're a trainer, training horses. And the only time I do the rising trot with the saddle, I'm not that strong, is when I have to help a horse like Lovey get stronger and more balanced, develop her cadence and elasticity in her transitions of her trots. It's really just to help my horse. The reason why you guys are being taught the sitting or posting trot is because your horses are tight and underdeveloped, and you can't sit that movement. So no one's training these horses correctly. So your horses are tight, underdeveloped, they're not balanced, so you guys are taught to do the rising trot. If you look at these professionals, whether they're reiners or top-level dressage riders, none of them post. They all sit, all of the movements, all of them. And that's because their horses are balanced and collected, making the movement easier for the rider to sit, and the rider knows how to sit that movement. That's a big problem, you guys learning these rising trots. So we had the foot position. 9, we have proper contact in rein length. Again, I'm not going to teach you how to do this. I'm just telling you the things you need to be looking for. And I'll show you. And then number 10 is how to begin your riding warm-up. We don't start trotting in here. Part of my warm-up was walking all the way up here. How relaxed is my horse? How responsive is my horse? So I always talk about the 3 R's in developing a horse and the rider as your foundation in all of my work, whether it's my lunging, my free lunging and round pen liberty work, to my riding, the 3 R's.